and welcome to the Right Click Safe podcast. I'm, of course, your host, Calcio, and joining me today as ever is Jimmy T. How you doing, big boy?
Big boy, that's a new one. Yeah, I'm good. I'm excited. Again, it's good again to have our first fellow Brit on the podcast. And always grateful for everyone tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe for future content.
Yeah, so today we're actually joined by, we've got a bit of a running joke. I accidentally called Toby Lasso our first Brit when he's not. Just going to keep it going. We've got our first fellow Brit on today, first Scotsman at least.
Yes.
It's Blocks creator, it's Harvey. How you doing, Harvey?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm busy boy at the minute. We're out to East Denver very soon, which is going to be exciting.
Yeah,
So we're just trying to get a few last recordings in before we go. I'd love to just jump straight into it, to be honest. I'd love to know how you first got into the NFT space. Do you remember your kind of origin story?
I do, yeah, I do. It was, I think it was August 2020, and I was just creating art and posting it online for a few months, and then I got a message from Anne on the Super Air team, and she was like, I think you'd be great in the NFT space, and I'd never heard of it, and I was like, what's this? I'm not going to lie, I thought it was a scam. I thought I was trying to get mugged off. So I went and looked into it, and I had a call with Zach from Super Air and spoke, and he sort of like followed me through like all the steps. And then I posted my first NFT. I think it was like 560 days ago, so it was a long time ago.
Oh wow,
something around those lines. And then I was posted like one-on-ones for like a year and a half, and I was like in and out. And then it was only the past few months I decided I was going to do a proper collection and get more into it. So. Yeah, nice. It's surprising that I've been in it for a while, but I've not really delved deep until like recently.
Yeah, I think that means I think that counts as you can say you're original gangster for NFTs.
Yeah, I can say I'm one of the OGs.
So you must have, if you've been in it for that long, you must have at least 4 or 5 Bored Apes then, yeah?
Oh, I wish. That would have been nice. I didn't honestly didn't know what they were until like months later. I just posted my Super Air, and then I was like, okay, that's it. Turn my computer off.
I think it's a really interesting story though when someone is coming from an artist background as opposed to a financial one. You know, a lot of people jump in because they want to make a load of cash, which is totally okay. As an artist who kind of came at it from a much more original point of view, how was it when you started selling those pieces for the first time? How did it feel?
It was really bizarre because I was just used to doing, well, I started in February of 2020 properly, posting work, and my mate got me into it, Gamboshin, he's an artist on Twitter as well, and showed me like, you know, you could post your art online, and he was showing me his page and his art and stuff, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. So then that's when I sort of started, and I was doing physical pieces through isolation and lockdown, which was like really weird period of time. And then, and I transitioned into digital work, but before I was only doing physical drawings, like A1 sort of size, A2, A3 sort of thing. So when I first started actually doing digital work and then selling it, I was like, I didn't think that you could sell your digital drawings. So when I was like approached by Anne from Super, and she was, oh, you could sell your digital work, I was like, nah, that's not true. That's not happening. No way, surely not. And then I sold my first Super Air piece. I think it was like just over $1,000, and the most money I'd made from art before was about 100 quid.
Yeah.
And I cashed it from a MetaMask to my Coinbase, and then cashed it out, and then I seen the notification come up on my phone, and it was like, you've just received like £1,000. I was like, wait, this is not right. Like this is not real. And then I had to like go in my bank, and I was like, that actually happened. What's going on? It was such a bizarre feeling, and every single time since it's the same. It's like, what? How am I doing this? This is like insane.
Had you tried to sell much of your physical stuff before?
Yeah, I tried, but it was varied success. I've not sold that many originals, at least before. Might have sold like 8 or 9, maybe 10 in the space of, you know, February 2020 to August, September 2020. I hadn't sold that much, so nice. Yeah, it was a bit of a shell shock when that first ETH paycheck came through. I was like, oh my god.
Nice, yeah. And also well done for taking it out to your bank, because I know the first few things that I put up online and sold, I just aped into just someone else's project. So.
Well, I didn't even know like what the space was really, to be honest. I didn't even I didn't even know that OpenSea existed when I was posted on Super Air.
Oh, nice.
So it was been a slow learning progress. At least now I kind of know roughly what I'm doing with it.
Yeah, that's good. That helps.
Yeah.
How did the style come about though? Because it's what I like to see, and I think a lot of people have connected with blocks because it is a bit different. It's not just another, and again, I don't mean to disrespect any artist. It's quite unique, right? It's not just the same as anyone else. And we've seen Vinny Hager as a really prominent example come with a very specific style that's just really drawn people in. It's really good on merch. It's really good to look at. I think blocks has the same feeling, and that's why I reached out in the first place. How did you actually start coming up with that almost mosaic-y style though?
Well, like I was saying, I started properly drawing for myself in February of 2020, and then I was just kind of messing around with markers and vivid colours and everything, and it was more of like an emotional response, I guess, to being like isolated, and I was like confined in my room, like we all were, over like March 2020. That was only a month after I started properly doing art. Yeah, and then it kind of organically happened over time. I was messing with like, geometric shapes and colours, and then I remember the first blocks drawing I did was the Tyler the Creator Igor piece. I posted it again like a week ago, and I did it. I went to my parents' house, and it was like 2 a.m, and I didn't have any paper or pen, so I was like, oh, might as well try the iPad. I bought it like 2 months before and never used it because it was too scary. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, and then I just kind of freestyled like the drawing in it, and that was really it. And then I was like, whoa, that looks really good. I'm proud of that one. So then the next day I did another one, and then the day after I did another one, and then eventually I was on some like streak of doing like one pretty much every single day for a while, and developing it from there.
I think that's a massive transition as well. And there's a few artists I've spoken to who we haven't had on the podcast, just privately, who are really into the original art. So they want to do everything with watercolor if that's their style. They want to keep everything very on paper. So I understand that digital transition can be quite stressful. Yeah. I think I'm really curious to know more about blocks as well, because it is, and you've pitched it as this on the website, and I totally agree with you. It's quite a unique project. It's not a huge mint size, 1,000 pieces. So we've got enough supply shock in there, but equally is it about 50 or more artists that have contributed?
Yeah. So what's one of the main things that makes my collection stand out is the fact there's so many people involved beyond me. So there's 1,000 pieces, and I've got 40 artists from the Twitter art space.
Nice.
Who've collabed on pieces, and then 10 to 12 of my family and friends have also done one. So we've got a really big variety of styles and expression sort of through their art as well. And you can really see when you're scrolling through the different types of people's styles, and I think that's one of the main drawing points towards blocks, at least I'd say.
Nice. And you say you originally got into it when like sort of during isolation and that. Do you think this would have happened at all if it wasn't for kind of coronavirus and isolation? And
I think it would have happened. I think it would have took much, much longer. Like, I don't think I would have been at this point for another 2 or 3 more years if it wasn't for isolation, which is a really big positive to take from such a terrible year, 2 years. I mean, we're still kind of in it really, but because that was like a push to use my time productively and do something and try more things. So it really benefited me anyway in that sense.
I think it was almost like it did kind of kickstart this little sort of mini digital renaissance that we're having, because it was exactly the same for me, as I've been animating for a long time, but I put so many more hours in during isolation than I had for years before that. So, and that made a massive difference for me.
Yeah.
How have you found, like, how did you actually come up with the idea though? Because it's one thing to say, okay, we're going to take people and make a collection together where they contribute 1 or 2 pieces and it's a huge collection. It's still a lot of your work. What was the origin of that idea?
Well, the whole collection idea came from, so I've done 4 collections in total before. I did a collection of like edition pieces where you get a t-shirt with every one. So that was like the start of me trying to combine physical with digital. And then I did 3 collections after, which are like blocks 1 to 3, and they're based on like musicians, and there's a movie one and art history as well. So I'd already started delving into collections, and then it was shortly after. So they did really well, which I was really surprised about. And I got some ETH from that, and then I was able to invest it, and I bought a letters from Vinny, and that was like the start of like, oh, that's a 1,000-piece collection. You know, and then I was like, I sort of spawned an idea where I was like, I could do something along this lines, but, you know, with my style and in my own way. So that was like the start of the creation. And then I was sort of going back and forth with my flatmate, Josh. He does ethical hacking at uni, so he's you know, knows code and big computer sort of know-how. So I was speaking to him, and I was like, well, you know, I want to do this collection. I want, you know, could you make me a website and do all the smart contract stuff? And he was like, yeah. And then it just kind of spawned the idea. I was like, well, why don't I get, like, you know, my dad to do one? And then I was like, why don't I get my girlfriend? And then I was like, oh, why don't I ask these artists? And then all of a sudden there's like 50 people. And it just like kind of went from there, this like domino effect. I was like, well, one person, we could get them. And then it spawned from there, and it's grown to be this collective almost.
Nice, that's awesome.
I think it's really nice as well, though, because and this is super prevalent. I actually had a big thread that I put out about the idea that making money is the be all and end all of NFTs. And again, ultimately, it would be really nice if we all made loads of cash. But I think with a project where you do come with a 1,000-piece supply, I don't know what the mint price is for blocks yet, because I don't know if you've revealed it. But either way,
it's 0.1.
Yeah, so it's a reasonable price, 1,000 pieces.
Yeah.
You're not asking $70 million, right, or something crazy. No. Be great. I take it, right?
Pixel
yeah. So for me, what it means is that it's a creator who really wants to create, and I think the fact you've got the history behind you of being, and again, it's crazy to say someone's an OG in less than 2 years, but that in the NFT space really does make you that. And
it's like a decade in NFTs.
The art come through is massive. So how are you feeling though at the moment with the collection so close? I know you've done smaller drops before and things like that, but this is the first one that you've kind of branded as a proper collection, if you like. How do you feel right now, a few weeks before launch?
I'm excited. It's a mix of like 50% is excitement and 50% is nerves. So it's like, we're like 12 days away now, which is crazy to say. I mean, I only started promoting it in like, I think it was late November. I'd only finished 100 pieces or 200 pieces, and I started promoting it, which in hindsight I probably should have finished more pieces, but I mean, it gave me a kickstart to do it. So now that we've like announced the date and everyone knows the time and the mint price and everything, a lot, you know, I've teased a lot of the work and people are excited. I'm like, oh God, need to make sure that it's, well, one, it just goes smoothly and everything works and everyone's happy. So yeah, a bit nervous. And I know that Josh is a bit nervous as well, because he's obviously got all the smart contract stuff to deal with, but yeah, excited at the same time. I can't wait for mint day when everyone gets their pieces and we can go through and look at what everyone's got. And yeah,
have you got any favourites? Because I think the one that a lot of people like is the Venom. I think he's really it suits the style so well. It looks so clean, and it really fits quite nicely. Have you got any favourites that you haven't revealed yet? Is there anything that's hiding in the?
I'm very biased. I've got so many favourites. I think the majority are like I really like and like love, if not all of them. There might be a few that I'm like, okay, he's not like, you know, I don't like them as much, but I still like them enough. But I've got some particular favourites that I'm excited to show. The ones that I've not teased yet. There's so many pieces as well, and there's so many collabs that haven't been released yet. I think I don't even know if we've released half of them yet, which is pretty spectacular. That proves how many collabs there is.
Did you find it quite easy then to get the collabs? With people, everyone that you kind of approached.
Yeah, I mean, there's only a few people that I approached that couldn't do it, whether they were busy or it didn't fit with them. But majority of people I asked, they were like, "Yeah, sure, I'll be involved."
I mean, yeah, it's definitely something we've found as well with the space in general, is that people are just so approachable.
Yeah, it's quite unique to the NFT space. Like, I don't think you really see it anywhere else, where like everyone's kind of down to collaborate and build something together, and there's no like, you know, prejudice towards everyone. It's all just kind of, yeah, sure, we'll help you out. Like, yeah.
It's definitely a big difference between crypto as well, because crypto is so kind of polarized in terms of there's so many maxis. You don't really get it so much in this space where someone's like, oh, I'm only buying Vinny Hager's letters and everything. I hate everything else. You don't get that in this space so much. It's more of that rising tide lifts all ships kind of attitude.
Yeah.
Are there any artists that you've taken particular inspiration from in how you've created blocks?
The actual style, a lot of the inspiration came from artists like George Condo. I mean, he's pretty a pretty popular influence for a lot of people, and that was one of the first artists that I looked at and was like, oh, I really like his work. Like, I really like his work. Let me see if I can take parts and see if I can twist them in my own way. And then obviously I looked at artists. I like a lot of like sort of the classical like artists like Rembrandt. I know my dad got me into artists like that. And then just with posting like consistently, I you see new art each day, whether it's art history or the artists online posting. So I'm like constantly influenced. And now that I've been doing art and want to be an artist, I'm looking at art all the time. So there's influence like everywhere really, and not only just art as well. Music is a big influence for all my work, music and film. Yeah.
I think it's really refreshing as well because I don't mean to make it England versus America or anything, but we really, I personally look for people in the UK who are in the space, and that we are few and far between, so it's really nice. Like, I want to get the guy Luke from Thingdoms on. I don't know if you're familiar. Obviously, you're familiar with him. But I'm really excited to see more talent coming from the UK and trying to create your work. Have you got any plans to go over to the US though for any of the NFT NYC and things like that?
I don't have any solid plans yet, but I'd love to go. It all depends on COVID and timings, really. I really want to go to I think it's the New York one. I really want to go to. Mainly as well because I want to go to New York. I've never been to America, so so I want to do like two things in one, and then I can put it through the business as a business trip, so everyone's winning.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, business expense definitely.
Exactly. Put it on the card.
I think it is great though. As you said earlier, there's so many opportunities to collaborate with people. There's so many options that people have when it comes to creating content, and I think that a collection that features a lot of different pieces is really unique because it means that these guys, I don't know, and I don't need to know the ins and outs of how it will work when stuff sells, whether they get the money, but the fact that they're willing to so openly just say, well, yeah, I'll give you my time. I'm happy to help with the collection. I think that pays dividends. Have you in turn had anyone approach you to use the block style for their work?
No, not yet anyway. No, but I've been just kind of using the motto, like, I'm ready to work with anyone really. If it's like interesting to me and cool, it doesn't matter if it's money related or not. I'm kind of down to work on interesting and creative projects. That's why Blocks has been like visually so successful, is because everyone that's got involved has got the same mindset where they're like, yeah, we'll work on it just because it doesn't matter about money. Like it'll be a special, worthwhile thing to do, which is I'm really proud of that fact that's like kind of, because you can see that through everyone's like pieces, where I thought going into it that when I started getting artists in, they'd kind of be like, some of them would kind of half-arse it, like there'd be pieces that were like rushed. Literally everyone has like smashed it. Like everyone's put in like so much time and effort, and you'll see it as well when you scroll through all the pieces. There's like every single piece is like incredibly detailed, and you can tell they've all spent so much time on it. So yeah, I'm really proud of what I've been building.
I am looking forward to the collection coming out and seeing these now. Like, it's exciting.
Yeah.
Have you got a lot of plans for the project post mint?
Yes, I do, but I will not be announcing them. I want to make sure that the whole we've done the roadmap, and the roadmap is just art. It's I've sort of stolen that idea from Vinny and taken it into Blocks. I think it's the most important thing, making sure that the art is good and the art's of the best quality, and then everything else is a bonus. But we do. I mean, I have announced that we've got holders merch, so that's all done, and that's ready to go. So. But apart from that, I'm not announced any other plans. I know I've got some collaborative projects I want to start working on with other people, and there's loads of collabs I want to do post Blocks, and I'm sure we'll definitely have some cool airdrops and
nice.
Hopefully maybe some in real life events down the line, but we'll see where it goes. I guess.
Exciting. Nice.
I think that's what I love about the art stuff as well, though, is that it's not the same as a profile picture project, but I think that what Blocks does quite effectively is that a lot of it can be used for that if you want it to be. Like certainly like the Venom's the one that just springs to mind because it's one of the ones I've seen that really, really like. I could easily use that as a profile picture and really make that my identity without kind of needing anything else from it. And I think that one of the things that I really liked about Blocks was that it follows that line that Vinny has, where it's all about the art and what we can provide from there. But equally, what it does really well is it goes on merch really cleanly. The Blocks box jumper you've promoted, the black one, looks really clean. How do you reckon that would feel though when you, and again, obviously this might be down the line, but you get to the point where people are wearing your merchandise? Is that something you've kind of experienced yet?
Yeah, well, I've been releasing clothing since about the same time I joined Super Air. I started releasing clothing in sort of sporadic parts, and that was kind of the main thing I wanted to be successful in, and do to a good standard. And I finally got to the point where, you know, we've got tags on all the clothing. It all comes pre-dyed, and it's all like really, really good like quality embroidery. Nice. I get it done locally, only a few hours away from me. So and I have seen. I was actually in a shop in nearby, and someone was wearing one. Someone noticed my hoodie I was wearing, which was really weird. That was really weird. I was like, my heart was beating proper fast. It was near Halloween a few months ago, and he was like, "Oh, that's a Harvey hoodie." I was like, "That's me." What's going on?
Because that was going to be my next question. Have you bumped into anyone with your merch?
I think they were friends of a friend, but it was still like one of the weirdest things that's happened in the past like year or two. I've never had someone be like, "Oh, I know what that is." I'm like, "What? Yeah. What's going on?"
That's awesome. Yeah, that's when you know you're gonna make it.
Oh yeah, hopefully.
It's another one of the most exciting things though, is when you find a creator who is just quite genuine, really. And we've spoken to obviously Toby really recently, who I found just incredibly sincere, really respectful, and I think those are the people that this space is designed for, where they're happy to kind of give their time up, they're happy to come and have a chat, but equally they are building something that they're really proud of and they do want to promote it. How have you actually found that side of it though? Because I know you obviously started a Super Rare with one of ones, and it was quite a, something which you just did because you enjoyed the art and you thought, it'd be nice to make a bit of money. How have you found having to really, I guess, push out and find the connections to really build the project out?
It was hard at first because obviously all the promotion is just done by me. So I'm fortunate enough to have like a really good sort of mini team where I've got my girlfriend who does all the photos. So every photo you see is taken by her. She's an amazing photographer as well. And Josh, my flatmate, does all the website stuff. And then we've recently got two mods in who've helped been deciding everything in the Discord as well. So they're part of the team, Karn and Nick. But before that, it was just me. So all the promotion was just me tweeting out and pushing it, and it was hard at the start because I had the Discord for when I released those first few collections, and there was only like 70, 60 people in it. I'd post, and then when I started doing blocks, and siding towards that and sort of moving the Discord, in that direction, I post teasers and they would only get like 6 reactions to begin with, and it's hard to build it up from there. But I've been very lucky where I've just, it's been like a slow increase. And then I did the letters, whitelist spots with Vinny. And then since then, it's just gone like crazy and blown up. And that sides with what you were saying earlier about having like real genuine characters in the space. Vinny was one that it's kind of like surprised me how much he was able to help me. And he didn't ask for anything, so that was like a real, really nice like gesture. Like he just did the space with me, and we did 30 whitelist spots, and we did like an art question and based it around that, and that was great. And he didn't ask for anything, just did it because he wanted to help, and that was like really like nice of him. That's awesome. Proper. I don't want to say the word shocked, but like impressed about how like genuine and gracious he was, and just helping me do that. So that was quite a good, really good boost for us, especially.
Yeah, that's wicked.
The other big thing to take away from that, I think, as well, is that there are so many. I think I saw a tweet earlier, which is so true. The biggest influencers in the NFT space are often only there because they've manipulated and influenced their way there. We could don't want to list off names, but we'll all probably have the same idea of where I'm going with that. But I think equally there are dozens of quality, really genuine, tenacious people who are just happy to help because they knew that they would have needed that help at some point, I think Toby and Vinny's story is a great one because they basically came together and built each other up. And if you actually look at the Cool Cat story as well, that's great because there's two sets of guys who, one's a set of artists and one's a set of developers. They needed each other and then they built up. And I think we all really benefit from making sure other people succeed. So talk to me a bit more about your team. You mentioned you've got your girlfriend on side, which I work with my fiance and have done for years, so I know that it's an interesting thing sometimes. And you've got your flatmate as well, and your devs as well. How have you found kind of building that team out?
Well, I mean, initially it was Caitlin, my girlfriend, has always been on board, so that was an easy one. She just whenever I need help with the photos or anything like that, she's there. So that's like the easiest part about. Like, I didn't have to convince her to help me or anything. It was just like, she does photography at college. So
does she invoice you?
Yeah, no, but she might start doing that soon. You never know.
Yeah.
I just give her free t-shirts and then nice. Hopefully that's enough. But no, she's great. So she's obviously helped me loads with all the photographs and just like I'll ping ideas off her and get her opinion, and she's usually brutally honest, which is always good because you need that. So and then Josh, we met the first week of uni. We go to different unis, but we stayed at the same halls, and we met, and we've just been pals for ages. Never really like done anything artistically together or any projects until a few months ago, where I was like, do you want to build a website for me and do all the crypto smart contract stuff? And he was like, yeah, sure. And then that was kind of it. And nice. He's impressed me as well because he's got no background in NFTs or crypto space, and he just went away, and then like 2 weeks later he came back. He was like, yeah, I know how to do it. I can write you a smart contract. And he wrote the whole thing from scratch as well, which is incredible. Totally. And it all works and everything. So that's really good. And I know he's excited because it's his first website smart contract launch, and excited and nervous like I am, I guess. But yeah. And then Karen and Nick, I think they jumped in the Discord around about 200, 300 people, and then just offered to lend a helping hand. And then I just kind of leaned on that fact, and they've been like a huge part of the team ever since. Really, they're kind of more than just Discord mods. They help out with the whole community and building that, and we've been having a call every week to decide like where we're going to go and like creating a time frame for blocks. And yeah, they've been like huge help, the pair of them. Everyone has been, and even like my mum and my dad as well, like just people like that where I can just like what do you think of this piece, or how can I do this bit, or they've been all helpful. So but the blocks team's pretty much like most people that I know at this rate.
Yeah.
Let's get everyone in. Get the dog.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Have you found that it's all kind of got you into the general NFT space as well? Because obviously you said before, like you didn't have much dealing with it. Have you found it sort of pulled you into looking at a lot more stuff in NFTs?
Yeah. Well, now I'm interested in like building up my own collection and taking that further, which I wasn't before. When I started, I was just like, this seems quite cool. I can post my digital art and I can, pay my rent for a bit, which is nice.
Yeah.
And then since I started doing collections and getting into it a bit more, I've found the value in it. So I bought my first Thingdoms last night. I know you mentioned Luke, so I finally bought one of those last night. And I've got, obviously got the letters piece as well. So I'm going to slowly start building up both my physical and digital collections.
Nice.
In time.
Have you been selling any as well, or just buying at the moment?
No, I've not sold. I've not resold anything yet. I've held everything so far.
Nice, cool. Proper collector.
Yeah, and that's really nice as well. We've had a few people on now. Robbie Knox is a good example of someone who just quite happy to collect it. He's not really interested in that being the way he makes money. Obviously, he's got plenty of other things going on.
Yeah.
And I think that the fact you've picked out two pieces that you like, that you've bought for a reason with a narrative to them, as opposed to this is going to make me money long term. Again, you're going to be up on the letter, presumably, depending on when you bought it.
Yeah. Well, I got it at launch, so I'm definitely up from that.
Nice. I paid 2.5 ETH for mine. Which one have you got?
I've got one called Burr.
Nice.
It's a blue gradient piece. I love it.
I really want one.
Yeah, I
need to
did
get
tell
one.
you to get one, man.
It's
I
too
told
late.
you.
It's too late, man. I haven't got
Yeah,
No,
that.
you can. It'll be too late very soon. You need to get one. Get one before the floor goes to 30, 40.
I have to sell my flat.
I'm genuinely convinced that these style of projects, if you do them right, are one of the most effective ways to create a genuine community, because and I think you'll see it with blocks as well. You're going to have easily over 500 holders. And if you don't, the only reason you don't is because it's someone who goes, do you know what, I really like 3 or 4 of those and I need them. And I think by having 1,000 pieces, it's a really controllable operation. I think if you have a massive team behind you and you've got experience and you've got budget to back it, having 10,000 pieces come out and a clear narrative is fine. But it's very hard to control that. Whereas with blocks or a project of 1,000 pieces, I think it gives you as the creator much more license to first and foremost have created 1,000 quality pieces, because 10,000 is mental, right? It'd be pretty insane. But it also means that you probably get to know some of your holders quite well. And again, like, your connection with Vinny's come off of, I presume, the fact that he knows you're a letters holder, you've been in the Discord, you reached out to him. Have you thought much about the potential of, again, I don't mean it like an origin story, but almost you eventually helping others out and jumping on their projects?
That's like what I'd love to do. Like, I'd love to be able to, in like a few months to a year, have the same pool that Vinny does and be able to just lend a helping hand to people that either help me or haven't helped me, just anyone that maybe I enjoy their art or not. The whole space is supposed to be collaborative, and that's kind of where I want to go as well. I think everything I'm working on at the moment that isn't blocks related is with someone else, a collaborative project. Like, this isn't like we haven't properly announced it yet, but me and Reese, NFT Rugs, we're going to be doing some rug related things in the future post blocks. He's got a rug in the collection that's really special. That's something we haven't actually touched on. Is there's 8 physicals in the collection as well, 8 or 9 I think. Including the rug. So we've got ideas to take the blocks rug form further for holders. So we're excited to delve into that after launch too.
I think that's so innovative as well, because I speak about it a lot because I've come from a background where it's all about collectibles. That's what I did.
Yep.
I'm going to mention it to piss Jim off. I sold my collectibles business very recently, blah, blah, blah. And I love the idea of creating genuine attachment to items, because the bottom line is, end of the day, IP is so powerful. When you sell it and you interact with it, you don't have to be, as the seller, that involved. I can sell you, if you love Marvel, Iron Man really easily and so on. I think the physical side of it is something which I really appreciated when I was looking over your project as well. How is that going to work though? Are you just going to, because the reason I ask is this whole like docs thing. I guess someone could just choose to sell it as opposed to keeping it, but is it something which you've got planned?
I've got a wee plan for it. So there's 8 or 9 pieces, I think, including a rug, an oil painting. We've got some sketches I've done. There's a collage that my gran did. Nice. We've also got some, like, I've got 2 post-it note ones that I've just drawn, like little post-it note ones, and they'll all be sent to the holders. But there's going to be a month delay. So after you buy on the 22nd, if you're whitelist, or 23rd for public, if you land a physical piece, I will not send you that piece until the 22nd of March. So it has to be in your wallet by that point, which means there's a month of secondary possibilities. So a month where they're like directly, the NFT and the physical are directly correlated, where if they're sold together. And then after that, whoever owns the physical, it's theirs. So they can decide if they want to sell it on with the physical, with the NFT, or if they want to split the two and sell the NFT and keep the physical. That's really up to them. But I wanted to make sure there was a delay, just in case people got it and they didn't want the physical and they could sell it, or if if there's people that didn't get the chance to get the blocks, and maybe they can tempt someone over with a nice offer. Thought that was pretty important to have a month gap between receiving the physical and minting.
I want Gran's collage. I'm genuinely going for it.
That is the next collection, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should just sack it off. You need to quit blocks, get Grandma in, she can do the whole collection instead, make it like a brand new thing.
Honestly, I'd be down as well. She's done, I think she's done 7 pieces for the collection.
Oh, nice.
Because
I'm collecting.
Yeah, I asked her if she'd do 1, and then like I didn't speak to her for a while, and I came back and she'd done 3, and then I went home and I seen her again and she'd done another like 2 or 3. And there is actually one that's she's done 2 physicals, but I'm keeping one. So
Nice.
That's fair.
I thought I was like, she's done 2. I'm definitely gonna keep one. So I've got that framed in my room.
And is that in the metadata as well for the collection? Will you be able to see in that who's done it?
Yeah, I'm doing all the metadata and all the traits I'm doing by hand. So it's a long process. I'm halfway. I think I've done 550. So I've got there's I think there's 8 variables that I have to fill in, and then the title obviously for each one, and so like to paint a picture of how they'll look. For a physical piece, it'll say body type, and then it'll say like physical collage or physical oil painting or physical rug, nice. and then it's got like a bit for collab, and collab's yes or no, and then if it's like if it isn't a physical piece, like just say it's the like one piece with the other one of the artists, it'll say body type and then the artist's name, and that'll be a 1 of 1 trait as well. So you click on it, and that'll obviously be the only one, unless there's like my gran or my girlfriend who's done like a few, and then you'll see like 5. So. Yeah, I
definitely want a gran 1 of 1.
I think we're going to make them the rares. I don't know. Has your Discord swayed? Have they swayed to anything massively? Is there anything that the Discord is particularly after, or any artists they really want the work of?
I don't know. I mean, every single time I post like a collab piece, it's like the same reaction where everyone just starts going crazy in the general chat and reposting it like a bunch of times, being like, I need this, and then pretty much every single time I've posted a collab, it's had the same reaction. So that's nice. a good indicator that everyone's doing their jobs.
Yeah,
with the art.
I'm just so excited for this style of project because I think it really does lend to something different. It takes us away from the bullshit. Let's just get 10,000 half-assed, badly rendered 3D monkeys together. And I think it takes us back to what the roots of collecting, which is something which is so passionate for me. The idea of being able to really invest in an artist, but equally get something back in return. And I think that the physical items are really special as well because they are special to you as well, right? So if I'm invested in the collector, then I'm going to be invested in trying to buy into that as well. So I think that's a fantastic piece in the setup, and I really think I'm going to have to find a way to get on that whitelist, I think.
Yeah, me too, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I'm glad that the way it comes across too. Like the collection's not just about NFTs. It's more than that. It's like an interwoven like art of both digital and physical worlds combined with like all these people that I've got involved. And the fact that a project hasn't done this before is quite, or at least not one that I've seen, where they've had so many collabs and so many people involved, is kind of I don't know what it's really surprising that it's not been done before. I didn't think it was like a innovative idea when I started, but then since I have like been promoting it, I've had loads of people saying this is amazing what you're doing. We've not seen this before, and I'm just kind of surprised that it's not happened. And hopefully, I can maybe the blocks can act as like a precedent to do more things with more people when you're doing collections. Like if you did a 10,000 piece collection, and you got 10 artists to do 1,000. That would be really good because then they could focus on their 1,000, or you got 50 artists or whatever, and they all did like pieces. Like those big collections could be so much more unique and varied if there was more people working on it, I think.
Absolutely.
Cool. So, I mean, it's been an absolute pleasure, Harvey. Just give us a kind of, if you can, give us, to close us off here, in a minute or less, why someone listening should mint blocks.
I think you should mint blocks because it's a collection that's unique to art and to the people involved, and it's a collection that's more than just the NFT. It's about artwork, and there's like lots of it relate to me and my experience, and also the experience of everyone that's created their own works, and it's just a really unique project that I don't think has really been done before. And obviously the crypto terms as well, it's only 1,000 pieces, so they're much more rare. And I know by doing all the traits, there's loads of 1-on-1 traits, like probably way too much for a collection, to be honest. But I wasn't even thinking about traits when I was doing it. So it's all just about the art. So if you like the blocks art and you like the people involved, I think take a punt on it. It's worth a shot, and if you do well from it as well, then that would be nice. But yeah,
sounds good, man. It's sold for me. I'm definitely going to be picking one up.
Good. Good, I've done my job. That's the promotion for the day done.
Yeah, 999 to go.
Yeah, there we go.
No, I'm taking all the grand pieces. That takes 8 more.
Yeah.
Basically,
All right.
It's been an absolute pleasure, Harvey. Thank you so much for joining us today. Blocks is 22nd of February, right?
Yeah, 22nd of February for whitelist and 23rd for public. Yeah.
Brilliant. I don't know how many whitelist spots you've got, but I wouldn't imagine many will be spare. So yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure. As I said, cannot wait to see how it goes. I've been Kelsey, your host of the Right Click Save podcast. Been joined by Harvey and of course Jimmy T. Thank you so much for your time, gents. Have a lovely afternoon. Ta-ra.
Thank you.